Hello everyone. So yesterday we studied about the chapter number 12 and that was electricity. We studied two parts of the chapter and that was the potential difference and the Ohm's law. As I told you earlier that Ohm's law is quite important as well as the potential difference. We will revise it today. So what was potential difference? The first thing was potential difference Potential difference is the work required to bring a unit positive charge from one point to another is known as potential difference. As I told you that if the electric current is flowing from one point to another, there must be some source of energy or a work done to bring that electric current from one point to another. So over here, this work done is done by the potential difference. So here the potential difference is the work required to do from one point charge to another point charge, and it was stated like a formula that is V is equals to W upon Q. V is equals to W upon Q. Here V was potential difference, W is work done, whereas Q is the electric charge. Q is the electric charge. Fine. We also did one numerical about the same thing, that was V is equals to W upon Q. From this you can make various formulas such as Q is equals to W upon V or work done is equals to VQ. Fine. It depends on the question what they are asking us in the exam. Okay. We also studied about the SI unit of potential difference. What was the SI unit of the potential difference? The SI unit is, say V is potential difference, that is voltage. The work done SI unit is joule. So we need to write J upon here. And as you all know that the electric charge, SI unit is what? Coulomb. So we need to write V is equals to JC, or say V is equals to JC inverse. Here V stands for voltage, J stands for joule, and C stands for coulomb. Fine. I hope you are clear with this. We also saw that an instrument used to measure the potential difference is known as voltmeter. I repeat, the instrument used to measure the potential difference is known as voltmeter. And remember one thing, voltmeter is always connected in parallel connection to measure the potential difference. One more thing I need to inform you is that in India, the common domestic unit for the potential difference is 220 voltage. Fine, 220 voltage. Whereas in America or any eastern countries, it is 110 voltage. It is 110 voltage. So this was the potential difference we did yesterday. One more thing we saw was the Ohm's law. What is Ohm's law? As I told you, a physicist named George Siemens Ohm invented the relation between the potential difference and the electric current, and that was also known as Ohm's law. So what was Ohm's law? Ohm's law gave the direct relation between potential difference and electric current that states that voltage is directly proportional to electric current. Voltage is directly proportional to electric current. To remove this proportionality sign from here, we need to add some constant. And so we can write V is equals to IR, or R is equals to V upon I. Remember students, here R is resistance. What is the requirement of this resistance? Here the resistance is which resists the flow of electric charge. That means they will create a disturbance in the flow of electric charge, so that electrical appliances worked on low voltage cannot be explode or being burned. So here R is the resistance. So that the R is always equals to voltage upon electric current. Fine. I also told you the symbol for resistance is this. Whereas one more resistance we are using in our day-to-day life is also known as variable resistor. Here, the word variable resistor means we can change the values of resistance, and it is also known as rheostat. It is also known as rheostat. The spelling is RHEOSTAT. The another name of variable resistor. Fine students, rheostat, that is variable resistor. So that where we are using this type of resistance in the fan regulators. We know that the fan regulators, what happens if we are keeping the fan at the 5, that means what happens, that the electric current is at maximum and the resistance will be at lowest. But if we are regulating the fan at the speed of 1, then the resistance will be maximum and the electric current will be lowest. So this is the general or the everyday life use of the resistance, also known as rheostat. Fine. Let us see the SI unit of Ohm's law. The general SI unit of Ohm's law is Ohm, also known as omega. The general name of this sign is omega, and this is the SI unit of resistance. This is the SI unit of resistance. We can also state the formula from the same thing, that is omega is equals to, what was the SI unit of voltage? That is of course V, and electric current is ampere. So we can write omega is equals to V upon A. Omega is equals to V upon A, or we can also write omega is equals to VA inverse. Omega is equals to VA inverse. So this was the resistance what we studied yesterday. I also showed you the graph of potential difference and electric current with respect to resistance. Suppose here we are having potential difference V and I am having an electric current over here. Then this is the constant graph going over here. So this is always constant. So this shows that potential difference and electric current are directly proportional to each other. What is the meaning of directly proportional over here? The main thing is, if the potential difference increases, that means electric current also increases. In the same way, if the electric current decreases, then the potential difference also decreases. Fine. But over here you can see that resistance is directly proportional to voltage, but inversely proportional to electric current. Anything which is in the denominator form is said to be inversely proportional. Is said to be inversely proportional. Fine. So here R is equals to V upon I. Okay. So here if the resistance increases, potential difference increases, but the electric current decreases. In the same way, if the resistance decreases, potential difference also decreases, but the electric current increases. So this is the resistance. I repeat, resistance is what? It resists the flow of electric charge in an electric circuit. I told you what is electric circuit. It is a closed path wire circuit through which the electric current is flowing. Okay, so this is the resistance what we did. So today we are going to learn about one more new topic, and that is the factors on which the resistance depends. The factors on which the resistance depends. This thing is quite important in the exam, so please pay attention on the Ohm's law. You need to know that. So what is the factors on which the resistance is dependent? So that is factors on which resistor depends. The first thing is, it depends on the length of the wire. It depends on the length of the wire. Fine. And the second thing what resistance depends is its cross-sectional area. And the third thing is, it also depends on nature of the material. Nature of the material. Here nature of the material stands for, if we are having a plastic, a fiber, wood or a glass, then the resistance will be at highest because there would be no flow of electric current in it. But if we are using a semi-metals, then the resistance, the flow of electric current will be mediocre, that is in middle range. But in the same way, if we are using any conductors, that is metals or which are very good conductors of electricity, then the resistance will be at lowest. So here this nature of the material stands for the type of material what we are using in our day-to-day life. Fine. So this is what the nature of the material. Okay. Next, I told you about length. Let us see that. Here, resistance is directly proportional to length. Resistance is directly proportional to length. And resistance is inversely proportional to area. Resistance is inversely proportional to area. That means what? If resistance increases, length increases. Or if the length increases, then resistance also increases. In the same way, but it is inversely proportional to the cross-section area. That stands if area increases, then resistance decreases. And if the area decreases, then the resistance increases. You can see over here, students, that both are R, but both are having the different formulas. So we can merge those formulas and we can write something like R is proportional to L upon A. So you can see over here that I have merged both the formulas. Here L multiplied by 1 is L upon A. So that is R is proportional to L. As we all know of the Ohm's law, we need to remove this proportionality sign. We need to remove the proportionality sign. Fine. So to remove the proportionality sign, we need to add some constant, and that is R is equals to rho L upon A. Here rho is the resistivity. Here rho, also known as RHO, resistivity. It is resistivity. Now what is resistivity? Resistivity is the values of the resistance what we were using in the Ohm's law. Resistivity is the values of the Ohm's law, or say the resistance what we were using in any type of conductors. Fine. So this is resistivity. We can also make the formulas of resistivity through this. So if we are having R is equals to rho L upon A. Okay. Then making subject of formula rho, A goes over here, and so that becomes R multiplied by A upon L. R multiplied by A upon L. So rho is equals to RA upon L. Okay. I hope you are clear with this. Fine. This is the resistivity. The resistivity of the metal ranges from 10 raised to -8 to 10 raised to -6. That is very low. Okay, but in semi-metals it ranges from 10 raised to -6 to 10 raised to 4. But in the insulators as well as non-conductor element, it ranges as high from 10 raised to 4 to 10 raised to 12 or 10 raised to 16. Fine. So this is the values of resistivity. I repeat, resistivity is the values of resistance. Resistivity is the values of resistance. So we also need to see the SI unit of resistivity. Fine. Let us see the SI unit of resistivity. The SI unit of resistivity depends on R, A and L. So what we need to do is, R you know, that is was ohm. Fine. Area we all know that it is always measured in meter square as you have studied in maths, and length is only m. So we can cut this square and m one by one, and so the SI unit of this becomes ohm meter. The SI unit of resistivity is ohm meter, whereas in the resistance it was only ohm. So over here you can see that the values SI units of the resistivity is ohm meter. Is ohm meter. Fine. I hope you are clear with this. This was the factors on which resistor depends. It depends on the three things: the length of the wire, the cross-sectional area of the conductor, and the nature of the material. Okay, and so I told you that resistance is directly proportional to length, inversely proportional to area, R is proportional to L upon A, and therefore R is equals to rho L upon A. Rho is the resistivity, and so R is equals to rho L upon A, or say rho is equals to RA upon L. SI unit is always equals to rho is equals to omega meter square upon meter. I cancel out the meter square and meter, so I am left with only omega meter. So this is the resistivity on which the resistance is dependent. Find resistivity is the values. So I hope you are clear with this. For the betterment of you and for the more clarity, we will also solve some of the examples dependent on resistivity as well as resistance. But we will take this on the next lecture. Today I am continuing with more about resistance. Fine. So I hope you are clear with this. So today the next topic what we will see is types of connections of resistors. Types of connections of resistors. Okay, number one is series connection, and number two is parallel connection. Fine, there are two types of connections in resistance, and that is the series connection and the parallel connection. That is the series connection and the parallel connection. Okay, what is series connection? My first question is, what is series connection? Have you ever seen in the school auditorium or any functions that there are many lights covered for the decorations or anything? Fine, but if you will only switch on the one switch, and all of the lights get light up. Fine. So this is series connection. On the one particular switch, we can arrange many electrical appliances all together. Is known as series connection. So this will be easy for you if you are getting on the one switch and all the things get light up at once. But there are many disadvantages for the series connection also. The main disadvantages is if anything is connected in series and in between, if one thing gets broken down, after that all the things will get broken up. So that is not as useful as that of parallel connection. But I hope you are clear with the series connection. Series connection stands for many electrical appliances arranged together only on one switch is known as series connection. It is known as series connection. Fine. Next is parallel connection. So what is parallel connection? What we see in our homes and in classrooms, it is known as parallel connection. You know that for we need to watch the TV and we are keeping on the switch, the TV only gets started and not the AC or the fan. Fine. If we want to leave the tube light on, then we need to on the tube light switch itself. So this is the parallel connection. For every one electrical appliances, there is one separate keys for that, and that is known as parallel connection, what we are using in our day-to-day life at our home. This is parallel connection. So parallel connections are quite useful as it loses less number of electricity. So we will have less amount of bills for the paying of electricity, less energy is being wasted, as well as if one appliances get stopped, we can also use the another appliances at the same time. So these are the main benefits of the parallel connection. But the series connection, it is used for the big auditoriums, the hospitals, industries, etc. While this parallel connection we are using for only one thing. Fine. I hope you are clear with the types of connection of resistors. But we have something to solve for the parallel connection as well as the series connection. Let us see that. Fine. So the first I am going with series connection. series connection. As I told you, we are talking about resistance. We will be only drawing the resistance. Fine. So, if I am having a closed path circuit with say 3 resistors. Okay. And then I am connecting it with a battery. Just like this. So this is battery. As I told you, battery is the potential difference. So I need to state it with what? Potential difference V. This is resistance number 1, resistance number 2 and resistance number 3. That is R1, R2 and R3. If electric current is passing from here, as I told you that it always starts from positive terminal and ends at negative terminal. Okay. So electric current gets separated over here, here and then it comes back to the negative terminal. So this is the basic diagram of series connection you need to draw in the examinations if it is asked. Fine. It is quite important, so please note this diagram. Okay. So now what happens? Let us see. If the voltage is given from here, electric current, these arrows are electric current, okay. And if electric current is given, then electric current passes from R1, R2, R3 continuously. Now we are having a formula for Ohm's law, that is V is equals to IR. V is equals to IR. Here the electric current remains constant. Here the electric current remains constant, but the voltage gets distributed over here, here and here. Okay. So this is the main formula. V is equals to IR for this. Now we need to write 3 more formulas for R1, R2 and R3. So what we will do? We can write over here V1 is equals to IR1 for this. Now for the second one, R2, we need to write V2 is equals to IR2. Okay. And the third thing is V3 is equals to IR3. So this is the basic formation of the formulas dependent on Ohm's law for the given circuit. Okay. Now what will be the total voltage? The total voltage will be the sum or say the addition of all the 3 voltage given over here, because we are having the 3 resistors over here. Fine. So total number of voltage will be what? We can write this as capital V is equals to V1 plus V2 plus V3. Okay. Now we can substitute the values for V1, V2 and V3 as well as V. What was V? V can be written as IR. Okay. So writing as IR. Okay. And V1 is what? Write that IR1 plus for V2 IR2, for V3 IR3. So IR is equals to IR1 plus IR2 plus IR3. Now what happens? You can see anything common out here? Yes, we are having electric current I common everywhere, as that does not change. Remember, in series connection, electric current I is always constant. Electric current I is always constant. So IR is equals to IR1 plus IR2 plus IR3. I can remove I common. So here I will write as it is IR, and removing I constant, that becomes R1, R2, R3. Okay, we can cancel this I and I from here. So what we are left with? We are only left with R is equals to R1 plus R2 plus R3. So this is the final formula for series connection of resistance. This is the final formula for the series connection of resistance. That is R is equals to R1 plus R2 plus R3. Okay. So R is equals to R1 plus R2 plus R3. And this is the general formula. So if in examination they are giving us some type of numerical through which we need to solve this resistance which are given in series connection, we need to put the formula R is general, that is R1 plus R2 plus R3. Fine. I hope you are clear with this. If you are not clear, let us take one example in the same circuit. They can give as many equations you want. Fine, you can also write this as R is equals to R1 plus R2 plus R3 plus till Rn. Till Rn. Okay, so you can write as many as you want. Let us take the last example. Say this R1 is equals to 3 ohm. Okay, this R2 is equals to 4 ohm and this R3 is equals to 5 ohm. And in the examinations, if they are asking us find the resultant resistance of the following circuit. Okay, now they have given us the values of R1 as 3 ohm, R2 as 4 ohm and this R3 as 5 ohm. What we need to do? As I told you that the resistance, series resistance, the formula is R is equals to R1 plus R2 plus R3. Okay, so we can write over here, let R is equals to R1 plus R2 plus R3. It is quite as simple as that what was the value of R1? Say it was 3 ohm. What was the values of R2? That was 4. What was the value of R3? That is 5. Add these things. 4 plus 3 is 7. 7 plus 5 will be 12. So 12 ohm is the final answer of the series connection of the resistance given in the figure. Okay, so R is equals to 12 ohm is the final resultant answer. You can also write this as by drawing a normal figure like this. Here you need to write that R is equals to 12 ohm. I have added this R1, R2 and R3 with R. The voltage what I was given here is the same. Okay. Now what happens if they are asking us over here, say if voltage is equals to 24 V and they are also telling us to ask that what is the electric current given? What is the electric current? Then we know the general formula that V is equals to IR. Okay, V is equals to IR and we need to find the electric current. Then I can write electric current is equals to V upon R. Okay, so if I is equals to V upon R, now we know that what is voltage, that is 24 ohm, and what is the resistance, that is 12 ohm. Substitute the values in this equation. Now I is equals to V was what? 24. What was the resultant resistance we got? 12. Cancel these things if it is possible. Otherwise leave that as it is. Then the answer is 2. Now if you will keep the answer I is equals to 2 as it is, you will only get half mark. It is necessary to write the SI unit in the electric current. And so you need to write I is equals to 2 ampere. This will be your resultant answer for finding an electric current. Okay, here also it was 24 voltage. Fine, so this was the series connection of the resistors what we studied today. We also studied about the factors on which the resistance depends. On the next lecture we will continue with the next topic, that is the parallel connection of resistors. Fine, if you are having any doubts you can contact me if you are having any queries. Thank you.